What's up guys, my name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and welcome back to the channel. Minecraft is a wonderful game, but sometimes it can feel the same. What if you want to switch things up a little? The game can sometimes feel a little bit spooky, a little dark, maybe fun or crazy, but sometimes it can also be a little on the weird side. There's some crazy texture packs out there that make Minecraft into a super trippy experience where you'll have a confusion level of over 1,000. From packs that make mobs have celebrity faces to hypnotizing blocks or even items with completely different textures to throw you off guard. These are the top 10 most cursed texture packs in Minecraft. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Number 10, Moving Blocks. First up is a real brain turner. The Moving Blocks texture pack basically transforms all those still textures on the blocks in the game and switches it up by making them all move continuously by animating them. Imagine animated liquids like lava and water, but over exaggerate that effect and put it on every single block, and you've got the results of this pack. This texture pack is just so confusing and it just plays with your mind. It's really not a pleasure to play with. If you want your game to feel super trippy, then this pack is going to do that and then some. These textures move 1 pixel per frame, making an effect of moving textures that will at least give you some kind of headache. It'd be an interesting experiment to see if you could actually beat Minecraft with this texture pack. I set you that as a challenge. Number 9, the Cursed Pack. This pack is seriously strange. It's a pretty unique one and it's kind of funny. Basically it switches around a lot of textures, including a lot of the mob textures in the game. For an example, cows are now pigs, pigs are now cows, sheep become chickens and chickens become sheep, endermen turn into turtles, gas transform into blazes and blazes into gas, guardians have morphed into bees, villagers convert into Steve, diamonds look like coal and coal look like diamonds, and more. Imagine mining for diamonds and seeing it literally everywhere, only to be let down when it's just coal. Or finding diamonds and it's coal, so you just ignore it and miss out on some valuable ores. This pack is severely confusing, and this is about as cursed as it gets, while still feeling somewhat like vanilla Minecraft. Number 8, Cursed Craft. This is probably the worst cursed texture pack so far. That's probably why it's actually cursed, because you'll feel like you're playing normal Minecraft other than flat coloured menu screens. But wait, the action bar is now green. If one texture being changed doesn't make a texture pack, then I don't know what does. 10 out of 10, great texture pack, would try again. Number 7, Cursed Blocks Pack. So for a start, this is an older pack, so if you're playing on 1.16, you'll be seeing a whole lot of pink and black textures, meaning textures are missing because the game is outdated. Basically, this pack messes up your coal blocks and items in the game, so for some reason, one that I clearly have no clue about or why they did it, coal is now red. And not just coal, your coal and charcoal and even the coal blocks are now red too. It's a pretty pointless change. As for the ore, you're going to be seeing a red version of coal ore too, which looks like some kind of new ruby ore or something. In a way it's pretty cool, but also very confusing when you're mining and think you're playing on a modded Minecraft with some kind of new ore, and then you figure out that it's just coal but it looks super weird in your world. Number 6, Filzer Cursed Resource Pack. This pack is one of the little more stranger ones. First of all, it changes gas into weird flying fish with horribly stretched materials, and makes a fireball shooting sound into some kind of chewing sound, and then when they die it sounds like someone choking on some food. It's pretty unsettling. For some reason the lava buckets now have some sad face on them, take from that what you will. Pufferfish also have the same weird dying fish sound that the gas have too, which is really disturbing. I guess since they're both fish now that makes sense. If you thought things couldn't get more epic, then you're wrong. Apparently now when you throw a trident it'll say yeet. If that isn't a gamer moment, then I don't know what is. The pumpkins and the jack-o'-lanterns now have an eerily realistic cutout human face on them, so if you want something to scare people away on Halloween, then this block would probably be your best bet. The skull on the fire painting has also been changed to some human meme face that will probably scar you for life. And if you like the totem of undying, well, it now looks like a cross between Luigi and Toad from Mario. One of the passive skeleton sounds sounds is also a horn, so when you're in a cave you'll definitely have no problems hearing them nearby, although you'll probably end up losing your hearing at some point. I think my favourite change is how the moon looks, especially when it fades into the sky. It's just a huge troll. It's basically gone from the moon to the meme. There's a few more changes to sounds like the splashing and drinking sounds, but they're just weird and pretty basic and not worth mentioning more. Number 5, Stallixcraft. This texture pack is just pure misery. First of all, the rain is extremely thick, which makes it hard to see, and if you look close enough, it's just square faces of Steve as the rain particles. This pack centers around replacing everything in the game, or at least everything important, with Steve and Alex, or other surprises. The Totem of Undying is now a Super Saiyan Goku figurine from Dragon Ball, which is, I guess, creative. I think one of the creepiest things is that Steve's face is just plastered on the top and bottom of logs, so when you're cutting trees, you'll just randomly see Steve's face staring back at you. All of the flowers and mushrooms are now replaced with disturbingly posed Steve and Alex's that look like they've been possessed, with different coloured t-shirts. When you hop into a flower field, you'll see tons of mini Steve and Alex's in the field, and the poppy is also probably the most terrifying flower because it's just a red-faced Steve that looks like some kind of demon. Chiseled sandstone and red sandstone now have Steve and Alex on them, and they look like some kind of ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics that worship them as gods. The slime block is just Alex's face stretched over it. The turtle shell is also Alex, but with some kind of extremely horrifying teeth like a monster. If you ever felt like diamonds weren't enough of a reward, well now they're less shiny and have Steve staring back from inside the crystal at you. If you didn't get this theme so far, this is just Steve and Alex memes throughout the whole resource pack. Number 4, Blocks in Blocks. So you probably thought the moving blocks pack that I mentioned before was the worst for your brain so far. Well, let me introduce you to the Blocks in Blocks pack. It does exactly as it says it does. The actual textures are not much different to the originals, but the only difference is that they are made up of multiple other smaller textures. So every block you place is made up of hundreds of smaller block textures which are connected to each other. I'm not sure if this is artistic and awesome or if it's just super cursed and weird. One single block in this pack is made up of a total of 256 blocks put together. The generator fits the block for each individual pixel that matches it, and because of this the texture pack's only available in one resolution, which is 256 times. If you have a bad PC, this may cause some lag, and it's probably best to use Optifine, but even though it's cursed beyond belief, I think this is just so unique that it's worth trying out anyway. Number 3, Will Smith HD textures. If you're a fan of blockbuster movies like I Am Legend, Men in Black, Aladdin, or maybe even Bad Boys, or perhaps you're just a fan of Will Smith and he's your favourite actor, then this texture pack is really designed for you. It's for the Bedrock edition of the game, which means the Windows version and the mobile version. First off, on the main menu you'll be blessed with a horribly stretched sequence of 3 different images of Will Smith's face welcoming you into the game. When the sun rises in the morning, you'll be graced again by Will Smith's guides. Place a pumpkin, no problem, Will be staring back at you. Not only is your action bar touched with a subtle hint of Will Smith where your items are displayed, even your crosshair is a series of 5 square images that make up Will Smith's face. They've even gone to the effort to replace the Minecraft music in-game with a Men in Black theme song with Will Smith rapping, and also the Fresh Prince theme tune. Basically every block, or near enough every block, have a stretched picture of Will Smith on, with most being different from many of his different movies. The wooden stairs have his face on, which offers some interesting interior design opportunities. My personal favourite block is the double tall grass, which is just a stretched cardboard cutout of Will that spawns in the grass fields for the extra HD Will Smith experience. Luckily they didn't replace all of the mobs, but fortunately for us the pig has a goofy Will Smith texture plastered onto it too if you decide you need a pet. This texture pack is just something I have no words to describe, but it was pretty funny when I decided to test it out. Number 2, Nicolas Cage Resource Pack. Now, if you're still with me and didn't faint from all the memes and, let's say, interesting things in this video, then this is a one-up from the Will Smith HD pack. In fact, when you download it, the texture pack is called Instant Regret, which should give you an idea of what you're getting yourself into. From when you click activate, you'll be greeted by stretched Nick Cage faces over every button in your game game's menus. This is the moment you'll be feeling instant regret, but it's too late to go back at this point. I actually really love the ore textures in this pack. There's actual thought gone into them, and it's also pretty funny. Each ore block face has 3 different sized Nicolas Cage faces on them, all with the corresponding right colours that match to each of the ores in game. Like the green Nick Cage is emerald and the red Nick Cage is redstone. The apples also have a stretched Nicolas Cage face on them, and it makes the golden apples feel even more overpowered when you take a bite out of them, gaining all of Nick Cage's power and ascending. Just think about how valuable those Nick Cage diamonds that you found are now. The moment you start spawning mobs is when you reach true psychosis level of insanity. The ghast is the most terrifyingly unhinged thing I've ever experienced, so I'm just going to let you see it for yourself in the clip. Number 1, Chubik. This pack takes number 1 on the list just because of how hard it makes the game. It's based around the theme of the Chubik cube, a 3D model idea where it puts the names of the blocks on the faces of the block. So basically it makes every block the same flat light grey colour with their block's name plastered over it, meaning you'd have to literally read every single block to get a good idea of what it actually is, because they all just look the same. I think the toughest challenge would be for you to try and tackle the game with this pack, or even tackle the hardcore mode if you're up for the test. You can tell most things from the shape, like the trees for an example, but you'll have to rely on sound for some of the things like lava, which is the same flat white grey colour as everything else, so it's so easy to die and fall into lava in caves, and water is no different. Sure, some of the effects like the nether portal are the original purple colour, but most things are just boring with this pack. The ores are a little different, but you'll still mostly have to read all their text to find the right ore, which is nearly impossible now in the middle of thousands of different blocks which are mostly stone. That's what makes this the most cursed pack, because if you're actually going to play the game with this, you're going to definitely be fighting an uphill battle. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and definitely let me know what your favourite cursed texture pack is from this video in the comments below, and let me know any more cursed packs that I didn't cover, because these are really fun to play. If you want more top 10 Minecraft videos, subscribe with the notifications turned on so you don't miss out in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.